Modern computing. You may already be a winner. Pre-approved life insurance. Pre-approved credit. Valuable gift enclosed. Free membership in a gym. A viewer rights. Can you help me get my favorite radio station better? Someone told me that putting tinfoil between my toes might help. Listening in Seaforth, Ontario. Well, listening, the tinfoil might help. I've learned never to second-guess the behavior of electromagnetic waves. Now, you don't mention whether your favorite station is AM or FM. There are a lot of differences between the two modulation schemes, but the biggest difference is to reception, the fact that the two bands use drastically different wavelengths. Most people want you to visualize electromagnetic waves by throwing stones in the water. Go ahead and throw stones. You'll see waves radiating out from the disturbance. But to make that analogy work, I'd have to convince you that a small stone would make a lot of close together ripples and a big stone would make further apart ripples. Water never works properly as an analogy, so trust me, frequency and wavelength are inverse. As the frequency of an electromagnetic wave gets higher, its wavelength gets shorter. Frequencies are the things that are marked on our radio dials, and the wavelengths of those frequencies are the clue to radio's sometimes mysterious behavior. Different wavelengths are reflected, refracted, and absorbed by different things. Light's made of electromagnetic waves, and our eyes interpret different wavelengths as different colors. So a direct way to feel this reflection, refraction, and absorption is with a mirror, a prism, and some colored pieces of paper. Radio uses the same type of waves, but with drastically different wavelengths. So for radio, buildings, hills, trees, the ground, the atmosphere, and the ionosphere all act like mirrors, prisms, and colored pieces of paper. The wavelength at the center of the AM band, frequency of about 1 million cycles per second, is about 3 football fields long. And the ideal length of the receiving antenna for this radio is a half wave, or 1.5 football fields long. That's why there isn't one of those telescoping antennas on it. It would take all day to pull it out and require a 500-foot ceiling. The AM antenna is located inside. It's a simulated long antenna called a loop stick. To adjust the loop stick for best reception is usually a matter of twisting the radio. Try it. It makes a big difference. Loop sticks also love to be placed near house wiring. All those nice big loops of wire in the walls collect long wavelengths, and they'll transfer them to the radio quite readily. A long wire between trees will help too, but don't connect it directly to the radio unless the radio has a connection for it. All you need to do is wrap it around the case in the same direction as the loop stick inside is wrapped. The long waves that are used on the AM band will reflect off the ground and the ionosphere, allowing them to travel quite a long way. When the sun goes away at night, the density of the ionosphere changes and the AM band gets very busy. You can hear stations all over North America. FM radio makes use of frequencies centered around 100 million cycles per second. That's 100 times the frequency of the AM band and 100 times shorter in wavelength. That makes this a good half wavelength grabber. The shorter wavelengths of the FM system act a lot like light. They need hard objects like buildings to reflect from and disappear straight into space. The effective range of these waves is limited by the horizon. That's why tall towers help. The transmitting and receiving antennas have to be able to see each other. Adding lengths of wire to half-wave, high-frequency antennas rarely helps. But if the radio has FM antenna terminals, any antenna designed for TV reception will work for FM. The FM band's very close in wavelength to channel 6. The theoretical range of stations on the FM band is about 50 miles, the horizon, but refraction will bend some of the spacebound waves back to increase the range to over 100 miles. The long-wave, short-wave business shows up in radio phones, too. The telescoping antenna on the phone units for high-frequency transmission to the base. The base unit talks to the phone via your house wiring using long waves. That's how the phone can ring with the antenna put away. You only have to pull it out to answer. Well, listening, hope this lets you receive your favorite radio station better. If nothing else, you can remove that tinfoil from between your toes.